The three Horia have many different names: Thallo, Oxo and Carpo, Eunomia Dike, and Irene, Pharusa, Eupori, and Orthosi. Each set of triples has different properties attached to them. These properties are like the Greek elements of earth, wind, fire, water. How do all these elements transform into one another? They are flat earth views of how the universe works. And the properties each triple goddesses have are like Greek elements' understanding of those properties. Inanna had many contradictory properties, or epithets attached to her. Likewise for all gods. Jesus is the Alpha and the Omega, the Lamb, the Light of Truth and a whole bunch more. The Horia corresponds to the hours 12th of September 24. There's a 4 seasons Hore Ire spring, Theros summer, Thynoporin autumn, Chimen winter. There's a 2 seasons Hore, Oxysia and Damia. The 3 Hore were the half-sisters of the 3 muses, Moira. The 3 muses, or the Moira, are Zeus, Olympus gods. The Sirens are also a Greek triple goddesses, that are pre-male god Zeus and Mount Olympus. The Sirens lose a singing contest to the Muses. On the marketplace of Coronia I found 2 remarkable things. A little lower down is a sanctuary of Hera with an ancient image, the work of Pythagoras of Thebes. In her hand she carries sirens. For the story goes that the daughters of Aeschylus were persuaded by Hera to compete with the Muses in singing. The Muses won, plucked out the sirens' feathers, so they say, and made crowns for themselves out of them. Pausanias 9.34.3. The fact that the older triple goddesses of the Sirens are being replaced by the Zeus Muses is one mythological reflection of an earth goddess past. As Herodotus says, I. 173, they take their names not from their fathers but from their mothers. I'd like to share some more of these residues of earth goddess past in Greek mythology. Apollodorus 2.4.1. When Acrisius inquired of the oracle how he should get male children, the god said that his daughter would give birth to a son who would kill him. This king Acrisius is from the Danae story. Mother of Perseus. Here's Danae showered with gold. King Acrisius shut her up in a bronze room to keep her, so that no child of hers could replace him at some yearly festival. But Zeus impregnated her with a shower of gold. Danae gave birth to Perseus. Perseus went on to slay a titan with Medusa's head. The Medusa is one of the Gorgon goddess triplets. She was turned ugly. This signifies the sacred kings changing the religion from female earth goddesses to a male god. Then, Bellerophon also rode Pegasus as did Perseus. Hence, Bellerophon is a redo of Perseus, this time to kill the Chimera. The Chimera is a composite beast. The Chimera has 3 parts: lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. The suggestion is that the Chimera is a calendar beast. Or, at least Robert Graves does in his The Greek Myths. There's no explicit statement about this in Greek or any other mythology. It's just a logical hunch. If true, the Chimera represents the seasons just like the Greek triple goddesses. Robert Graves suggests it represents going from the 3 seasons era to the 4 seasons era. Picture of Bellerophon slaying the Chimera on a Greek vase. Although I can't prove the Chimera is a composite beast, I can point out that Dionysus appears to be a composite calendar beast as well. He has sometimes a 3-beast representation and sometimes a 4-beast representation. We see that the Greeks' mythology went from 3 to 4 seasons. So, Dionysus going from 3 composite beast to 4 suggests this is because Dionysus is a composite calendar beast. At Morocco Volubilis, much later, around 300 BC, there's a 4 seasons Bacchus fresco. Autono and Aristeus had a son Actaeon, who was bred by Chiron to be a hunter and then afterwards was devoured on Cytheron by his own dogs. 47 He perished in that way, according to Acusilaus, because Zeus was angry at him for wooing Semele, but according to the more general opinion, it was because he saw Artemis bathing. And they say that the goddess at once transformed him into a deer, and drove mad the 50 dogs in his pack, which devoured him unwittingly. Actaeon being gone, the dogs sought their master howling lamentably, and in the search they came to the cave of Chiron, who fashioned an image of Actaeon, which soothed their grief. Apollodorus 3.4.4 Anchises is a mortal lover of Aphrodite. Aphrodite gets pregnant. She warns him not to tell anyone, or Zeus will strike you with a thunderbolt. He ends up telling someone and gets struck by a thunderbolt. There's a judgment of Paris, which indicates, mythologically, that the Trojan War was due to a transition from these earth goddess triples to a male god religion. In Greece, that would be Zeus and the Mount Olympus 12. I've mentioned the Sirens as one of the pre-Zeus, Olympus triples. Then there's the Gorgons. The main Zeus, Olympus gods-goddess triples are Hera, Athena, Aphrodite. Hera, by the way, has been shown to have a slight linguistic relation to hero. Another residue of the transition from the female earth goddesses to the male-dominated Iron Age. But, getting back to the judgment of Paris. There was a big gods-goddesses party, and Eris, goddess of discord, wasn't invited. She made a contest for the three goddesses Hera, Athena, Aphrodite. But Zeus intervened, and handed the contest over to Hermes. He chose Aphrodite because she promised him Hellene, Helen of Troy. Which triggered the Trojan War. We've seen a little bit of the male kings finding astronomical reasons to extend their rule before they are sacrificed and a new king for the day is put in his place. We see this and the transition from female to male ran Olympic Games. The Olympic Games were originally run by girls to be priestesses for Hera, then the males later took over. Pausanias v 16:2. Every fourth year there is woven for Hera a robe by the 16 women, and the same also hold games called Heraea. The games consist of foot races for maidens. V 16 4 inches. The games of the maidens too are traced back to ancient times. V 16-6. The cities from which they chose the women were Elis. Then, when the male-centered Greeks took over, the males took part in the Olympic Games. Pindar Pythianodes X 40. You ask me from what race the girl comes, Lord Apollo? There she will bear a child, whom famous Hermes 60 will take from beneath his own dear mother and carry to the seasons on their lovely thrones and to Gaia. For right away he stood the whole band of suitors at the end of a course, 115, and told them to decide with a footrace which of the heroes, who came to be bridegrooms, would take which bride. Pausanias 5-6 inches. As for the Olympic Games, the most learned antiquaries of Elis say that Cronus was the first king of heaven, and that in his honor a temple was built in Olympia by the men of that age, who were named the Golden Race. When Zeus was born, Rhea entrusted the guardianship of her son to the dactyls of Ida, who are the same as those called Curetes.